Alright guys, we're back with another video, or my first video. I don't know what's gonna come out first, but Nerp just posted a video on his tier list for everything in the game, and so I'm here to critique him in a way. Not really, but just state my own opinion, because I feel like his was a little bit biased. Not bad, but just a little bit biased, as he even admits himself. But yeah, we're gonna do a tier list, so try to make it a little bit, give you guys my best unbiased opinion on everything, and whether you're new or newer player or more experienced player. I have about 150 plus hours myself into this game, so I definitely know what's good and what's not. Anyways, let's get right into it. Alright, so first item, Ahi's Reaper. Of course, S tier. I'll explain why. Nerp agrees in his video. Of course I agree. It's one of the best combos in the game. Really high DPS, and like he said, like without each other, they're not really good at all. They're at best. The Reaper's average. Amulet's absolute garbage by itself. Horror Ring. That's our first average item. 666 stats all over overall. It's alright, and as you guys will see a pattern, I don't really think rings are good. I think there's better things, but we'll get to that. Alright. Pirate's Axe, Captain's Axe. I'm gonna have to put this in bad. It's not really good, and I do agree that axes are the worst weapon in the game right now. They need a serious buff to fix it. Yeah, it's from Isabel's dungeon. It's not the lower tier dungeon weapons are not really the best besides Coral Staff. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in bad. And Necrophase. This is my first critique about Nerp's video. I actually think Necrophase is at S tier. I don't know if this is controversial, but I think it's really good. The damage buff increase from just the regular Claymore is really good, and unbiased, I think it is one of the best swords, if not the best. The projectiles that you get from it are insane. They are pretty good, even though it is a sword. I think it is one of the best, so I'll put it in S. Next, we're on Toxic Fluid. I think Toxic Fluid, with its passive, is... I'm gonna have to put this in... It's not quite bad. It would have to be a low B. And what saves it is its Dex, I believe. Is really good if you're trying to run a Dex build, but as an item itself, it is absolute garbage. It costs way too much mana to use and does not do enough damage. There are way better bombs in the game if you're trying to use a bomb, so. Alright, and I think this is Snow King's Blade. Swords are weak, so I will have to put this in, honestly, it's gonna have to go in, I'll put it in average. Does decent damage, doesn't really have a passive that redeems it, like Necrophase, so I'm gonna have to put that in average. And this is the Assassin's Dagger. I don't know the specific name, but I know the stats on it. It's alright. Like you said, 70 speed is low-key crazy. It's really hard to get 70 speed, so most likely you're not getting the passive on this, so therefore I'm gonna have to put it in bad. Alright, Pixelween Hat. This is... I'll put it in A tier. It is really good. In Nerp's video, he put it in S. I don't think it's quite S. I think it is one of the better hats. But... actually, we'll move it to S, because just for what it is in its category alone, it is one of the better... it is one of the better hats. And it's limited, so it's pretty cool. Alright, Witch's Broom. I will have to put this at average. Does decent damage, but it's nothing crazy. There's definitely better staffs in the game. Its fire rate is average, damage is average. Looks really cool, and it's limited, so I'll put it in average overall. Sylvan Ring. I'll put this in. Honestly, I'm gonna put this in bad. Rings are really not that good, or in a good state. Except for the next two that are coming up. Both Buzz Rings are pretty good. But even as a starter item, I would not recommend this ring. Next is the Buzz Ring. I actually think this is average, especially as a new player. If you get this, you are set as just starting. It has decent mana, and yeah, it's really good if you want to start spamming heals, etc. And I might as well. I'm also going to put Buzz Ring. It is one of the best defensive rings. I believe it gives you around 35 health or 40 health with some vitality. It is not bad. I definitely disagree, but I think it is hovering around average. Ahi's Hide. I think Ahi's Hide is... I believe it's bad, personally. I think there's much better armors in the game. Yeah, not really much to say more about it. Alright, so we got Blossom Flag. I think Blossom Flag, for what it is... I want to put it in average, but I don't think it's quite there. I think it's at the bottom of really good. Its buffs aren't actually, I feel like, worse than the tier 4 flag. It doesn't really buff strength. It just buffs pretty niche things, like it buffs vitality, which isn't really in a good state, and they did nerf it, so I'll have to put it in A here. Wormstaff, I don't think it's really good. I think it is just probably on the higher tier of average. It's a good staff. Like, if you get it around mid game, it is pretty good. But there are definitely better staffs. And we're gonna save this banana for last, actually. Alright. This sword, I know the stats, I forget the name. Maybe Snow King's Blade, I'm not sure. But like I said, I'm not a sword hater, but the speed from this really does, it's just asking to get killed, so I'm really gonna have to put this in bad, honestly. Just the speed alone is just going to get you killed, especially with being so close. And next we have the Soothing Pendant. I already know I'm gonna put this above. It's not quite on the S tier. Its counterpart, Haunting Pendant, I believe is, but Soothing Pendant, really good, but I'm gonna leave S tier for the Haunting Pendant, which I'll put right here. It is. So we're gonna put that in here. I think it's quite a little bit better than Pixelwing, but alright. Sylvan Staff, I think it is average, probably lower average, because it's not a bad staff for beginners, but there's definitely better. Actually, I think I will put it in high tier and bad, because even like if you get a tier 4 or tier 5 staff, it pretty much competes with this, so I will have to put it in terms of a legendary and pretty bad. And Frankenstein armor, I'll have to put this in average. Has decent stats overall, but there's definitely better heavy armors in the game. Even a tier 5, and it pretty much yeah, it competes with the tier 5 is better than this, so I'll have to go in average. Alright, I'll use this. This is Haunted Robe. Best robe in the game right now, in my opinion. Stats are really good, and yeah, I mean, really good stats. You know, immune to sick. I mean, not sick. What is it? Silence or whatever. Very good. Not much more to say about it. Use it if you get it. Definitely use it if you're trying to go mana. But yeah. Witch's Concoction. Yeah, just I wouldn't use it. It's definitely hmm. I'll put it in C because it is technically the best bomb. It's just the the fact that you could just get silence and then all your mana's gone is just kind of screwing you over. So good damage, but also high mana cost is gonna have to put it in bad tier. All right, Venom spell. Put it in high bad. I know Nerp didn't really. He thought it was a little bit better in his video, but spells are just not good. Don't use them. In this state of the game, spells are not good or really useful. They just drain mana when you could just be healing, in my opinion. But yeah. All right, ring. Bad. I don't think the stats are that good on it. It's definitely not worth it. There's better items, and that's pretty much to say about it. Lightning bottle. 100 mana is insane just for a 2-second stun. Do not use this at all. It is not worth it. There's so much better items you could use. Worm robe. I'll have to put this. It's between average and really good, but I'll put it in really good just because it's a really good like middle of your game staff. Like it's definitely not like at the tier of haunted robe, but haunted robe's pretty hard to get at this point. So if you don't have haunted robe, I would kind of recommend robe of worm if you're going a mana build. I think this is Sylvian staff. I don't know what I said. I think I said that before, but yeah, this is the Sylvian staff, I believe. True damage, good. I'll actually put it in. Yeah, I'll put it in really good. It's definitely on the bottom tier. It's pretty good. Decent damage. The true damage definitely carries it. But at the same time, you can get it from one of the lower tier bosses. So if you get it, definitely use it if you're trying to go a staff. And this is the cow bomb, mushroom bomb, whatever. I think this is really good as well if you don't have a problem with dodging, trying to throw it on yourself or throw it on others. It's a really, really good support item. Like Nerp said, really, really good healing in terms of efficiency. It gives you the most healing for mana, especially over time. Alright, get this garbage in here. I still to this day do not know how to light yourself on fire to even get the passive out of this item, but for now there's so much more better heavy armors. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Fire helm, I'll put this in for a helmet. It's one of the better helmets, so I'll put it in average about, I would say. Decent passive, decent stats, not really more to say about that. And we got the Fire Claymore. I actually think this is really good. Really pretty easy to get. You know, comes out of a pretty easy dungeon and really good FPS. But where it falls off is it's kind of a sword, and swords are still not in the best place right now in the game, so it's gonna have to be kind of hovering around average, but I do think it does go into really good. Alright, next we got Coral Staff. I think Coral Staff is also really good, not quite S. I will say it's the best weapon for starting to about mid-game ish, maybe just going into desert, I would say. Yeah, good DPS, especially really, really good DPS for just starting. If you're just starting the game and you get this item, definitely keep it for a while until you can get something in the S tier. Alright, Toothless. I don't know why I said Toothless. Tooth Necklace. This is gonna have to go S tier, best item if you're going like a tank build, etc. Not really much more to say about it. It literally just gives you 80 health, I believe. Yeah, really, really good. Definitely use this if you're going a tank build. I myself am I have this in my tank build, and it's definitely good. This is Heroic Mantle. I would say Heroic Mantle is average. It's not quite bad. Maybe hovering just around bad. The nerfs hit it hard. It used to be, when the game first came out, it used to be one of the best heavy armors, but there's definitely better heavy armors now that have come out. Alright. Cloud Armor, easy S. Actually, very high S. Yeah, there's not, I mean, best speed dex item in terms of armor in the game by far. It's not even close. Yeah, it's really insane. Use this if you're trying to go a dex / speed build, or either or. Alright, we got the flower armor. I forgot what it's called. This is actually hovering around middle of average. The passive on it is once again garbage. Any passive that goes to a biome or stuck to a biome is just garbage. But the stats on it are actually really good, and it drops from a lower tier boss. So if you're just starting, and you get this, definitely keep it on until you can get something better. And this is the Mushroom Cap. This is definitely really good. Good mana, good stats overall. One of the better hats in the game. Yeah. Now the Mushroom Bow. This is definitely S tier right now. It's kind of hovering between really good and S tier, but I believe it's S tier. The DPS you can still get out of this even after the nerf is pretty insane, and it's still pretty high value. So yeah, I think this is just hovering over S and A tier, but I think it just cuts it because the DPS out of this thing, for what it is just insane. Warped Axe. Axes are not in a good state right now, but I'll have to put this in high tier, bad. It's definitely probably the best legendary axe in the game right now, but it's an axe, so not much more to say about that. Frostbow. I'll have to put it in definitely one of the higher A tiers over here. You know, really good damage if you can rack up that, 40 attack. It's definitely worth using. The only thing that knocks it down is, of course, its DPS 1 second is pretty brutal, but the damage low-key makes up for it. So yeah, I would say it's about hovering between A and S, but not quite S. Ice Bomb. I'll have to say this is average. Pretty high mana use. The slow is really good, but maybe this is where my bias comes in. I think healing items are better than bombs right now in its current state. Yeah. True Ice Armor. This is definitely, I disagree with Nerf. This is one of the best heavy armor for sure in the game. Only minus 10 speed. You're losing speed, but you're gaining 60 health and 16 defense. If you're going a tank build in the game, this is the holy grail. You want this. I don't know what Nerp was on when he made his video, but this is no bias. I mean, it's literally the best defensive stats. If you're trying to go to tank, use True Ice, and the passive is really good. It can save you, so definitely use this if you get it. Cannon. This is actually within, I would say, one of the higher tier bads, just because it's easy to get. Does decent damage. Fire rate is kind of garbage, but they did buff it a little bit, so it is kind of on the higher tier bad. Bog Dagger. This is gonna have to go in the middle of average. Daggers are pretty bad right now. Not quite as bad as Axe, and I would say probably, in my opinion, probably head to head with swords right now. Does decent damage. Yeah. Lush Scrubs. This is gonna have to go in average. has decent stats, easy to get in terms of droppable. I actually don't see much of these, but yeah, decent stats. If you get this in the beginning of the game, it's pretty good. So for a robe. Ring, useless. Do not use this. Yeah, I mean, not really much more to say about it. Lightning bow. I think Nerp put this in A tier in his video. I actually think this is S tier. The DPS you can get out of this still is really insane. Yeah, I mean, DPS is really good damage, even though it did get nerfed. Is still up there as one of the better weapons. Yeah. Rattling bow. Rattling bow is the most valued item in the game right now. You have to trade so much to get it. It is definitely the best item in the game right now. Yeah, it's just a better version of the mush bow, and mush bow is already an S. You already know the rattling bow has to be the best. So yeah. Haunted staff. Nerp put this pretty far down in his list, but I actually think he's wrong on that rating. I think it is actually pretty good. It's definitely bordering average, but with the haunted, only with the haunted robe, it's A. I agree that it's bad without it, but the projectiles are pretty good. It's really easy to aim. Fires pretty fast, and yeah, decent DPS. Decent DPS. And finally, banana. I don't even have to say anything. S tier. Yeah. 10,000 Valor. I think Nerp mentioned in this video. But yeah. Haunted House, Banana, 10,000 Valor. So just that alone is going to have to give it S tier. So yeah, guys, this is my tier list. Thanks, Nerp, for providing this tier list. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. And really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys, and let me know what you guys think about my list, if it's trash, what needs to move up or down, and yeah.